Suburban Ford 7 Sports Cave. It's time to ask the analyst, and as always, we bring in the man, the myth, the legend, Mike Foss.
Mike,
that's high
What's
praise.
going on, bud?
That's high praise.
What's up, boss?
Hey guys, yeah, we'll get to the questions and answers here in a minute, but I want to start off with something that John brought up a few minutes ago, talking about the dwindling attendance as the game went on. Shane Morris actually with some fairly strong words for the students. Let's take a look at what Shane said on Twitter last night. Started off saying, "Shout out to the few students who stayed till the end of the game, and to those who didn't, we won." And then shortly after, he did clarify a little bit, saying no shots fired, just saying that we appreciate those who stick with us until the end. Guys, your thoughts on that?
No shots fired, but guess what? Shots fired. Hey, you know,
gun holstered is what that is.
I'll jump the gun. I'll jump the gun. What I'll say is, you know, being in that stadium as a player before, you don't like when people leave. I feel as though you haven't given them a product to stay for. However, your job as a student, as a student fan, is to just be loyal. Like, sometimes you're going to deal with situations where your team isn't going to be what you want them to be. And your job is to still stick with them through everything. Alabama disappeared off the map of college football, and then they reemerged. What happened to the fans that stayed and supported them? Remember USC? Yeah. USC was null and void.
It's different now, though.
Right.
It is.
Kids have, I mean, these students have so much more going on.
You got tailgating. You have
every stadium.
Every
stadium
has parties.
You always have parties.
Every stadium.
You just didn't have social media.
Yeah.
It is different, but I think the root of the problem here, though, is a student athlete going on Twitter, and again, how many times have we seen that just gets you in trouble?
Which is why, as a coach, I would be one of those, censorship notwithstanding, saying just stay off social media.
Yeah,
I don't feel like.
But
it's
here's what I think is
bad,
this is part of what's the problem is in Michigan now, though, is because you've had these students who've effectively, in perception at least, fired the athletic director, marching on this president's house. And so now you have the sort of the football team versus the rest of the student body kind of mentality going on there. And that you're seeing, I mean, we had Elliot Mueller, a former player, calling the students muggles on Twitter. Like at one point, it's like, you got a little bit of that. You got a little bit of that. And it's hard, that's what happens when a team loses. But you do have sort of that tension now. I think that's going to take some time to
as Tom Izzo says, I hate Twitter.
Yeah.
Foss, what else you got for us today, bud?
Well, we're going to go with prediction time here. You guys touched on it right before the break. Michigan with 3 games remaining at Northwestern next week, and then home against Maryland and at Ohio State, of course, to close out the regular season. Does Michigan win 2 out of those last 3 and become bowl eligible?
A week ago, I would have said no, but after watching Northwestern yesterday,
2-1.
I think so. I think they do finish 6-6. The team, you got to give Brady Hoke credit because this team has not given up, has not rolled over, even with injuries and everything else. I do think this is a team that's playing hard for its coach still.
I agree with you 100%. I think the biggest thing is we've talked about Hoke and his incapabilities as a head coach. However, we never talked about Brady Hoke as a man and what he's done to really kind of like guide these players and lead these players.
Yeah.
These players play for him. Actually, number 24, Hollowell, he actually had an Instagram picture that showed he and Brady Hoke talking on the sideline, and the caption was, "He rides for us, we ride for him." Yeah. So basically, these kids love Coach Hoke, and I appreciate that about what he's done in terms of sculpting young men. So I appreciate that. I got them 2-1 in the next 3 games.
Excellent. So that's 2.
Now, where that bowl game is, who knows?
I think the Big Ten would be happy to send a Michigan team to the Pinstripe Bowl in New York and the Bronx and play in
As for who's
Stadium.
coaching that team in the bowl game, I couldn't tell you that.
Well, Ohio State hasn't been amazing this year, and you know how those games go.
Absolutely. Last year is a great example of that.
So who knows? They could end up 7-5, which would save Brady Hoke's season amazingly.
Well, we're going to talk about potentially what you were just talking about, the new head coach that might be coming in, or the new athletic director might be coming in, as the Suburban Ford 7 Sports Cave continues in a minute.